Yes, my people, welcome back to another video and welcome back today to the Glory Hunter Challenge, where in today's video, we are going to take on Napoli in the Champions League quarter final. We're getting to the business end of the season now. We are in April, the final 2 months of the season, and we sit top of the table and in the Champions League quarter final and the FA Cup semi-final, looking to try and do the famous treble for the first time in Chelsea history. Now, there is some games to show that we played off camera since you were last here. So, since you were last here, we did, of course, play against Roma and pick up a 5-1 win on aggregate in the round of 16. Since then, we then played against Manchester United and picked up a 2-1 home win. Benjamin Sesko opened the scoring for Man United in this one. And then Vinicius Jr. and Cole Palmer each got themselves a goal. We then, unfortunately, dropped points as we drew 0-0 with Brentford away. Good to keep a clean sheet. Garcia kept quite a few of those this year, but disappointing not to score at all. We then played our penultimate game, our final league game, where we picked up a 6-0 away win against West London rivals Fulham, where Schlotterbeck, Vinicius Jr., Pedro Neto and Nico Paz picked up a goal each, and Giovanni Quenda got himself a brace in that one. And then we played the FA Cup quarter-final against Crystal Palace, where we picked up a 5-2 home win. Cole Palmer, Cucurella, Vinicius Jr. and Nico Paz each getting a goal each, and then Cole Palmer getting himself a brace in that one. So we do have Arsenal at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. I might do that as a single live com. I'm not too sure yet because we have won the FA Cup, so maybe I'll just do I'll do the final if we get there, because, it's a big game still, but I might not do the semi. Anyway, we are still 2 points clear with a game in hand. So should we win our game in hand, we will go 5 points clear of Arsenal still with 6 games to go. So it is looking decent, especially when you consider that we've still got Ipswich, West Ham, Wolves, Everton. We've got some decent teams still to play. And of course, we've got Newcastle in between the games here today. So, our lineup to face Napoli is as follows. We've gone with Garcia in goal, a back four of Reece James, Fofana, Schlotterbeck and Cucurella, with a midfield two of Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, and the front four, all with 20 goals this season and at least 12 assists, as Cole Palmer starts on the right, Giovanni Quenda starting on the left, with Nico Paz back from injury in the 10, with Vinicius Jr. leading the line for Chelsea here today. So let's get in to the Champions League quarter-final and see how Napoli will be lining up for it. Okay then, the lineup that Napoli are going for here today. At home at the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona is as follows, as they go with a 4-3-3 formation. They've gone with Milinkovic-Savic in goal, a back four of Vinicius Tobias, ex-Real Madrid wonder kid, Rarami, Buongiorno and Medina, with midfield three of Prisco, Pellegrini and Vergara, with Politano out on the right, Thiago Fernandez out on the left, with Rasmus Højlund leading the line for Napoli here today. Don't think I've played Napoli yet on Football Manager, actually. So this will be an entertaining game for me nonetheless, as just confirmation of the Napoli lineup. And, of course, your Chelsea lineup here today, as Vinicius Jr. gets us underway for this Champions League quarter-final. It's good to see Napoli in this. They did beat PSG to get here, so they should not be underestimated. as Fofana goes back to Garcia. Schlotterbeck now into Cucurella, finding Enzo Fernandez into Nico Paz. Giovanni Quenda now breaking away with the ball. Can he pull this back or go for goal? He goes for goal and he wins Chelsea a corner. It's a promising opening 5 minutes here. And as you can see in the bottom right, Tottenham find themselves 2-0 up early on here against Liverpool. Of course, Tottenham or Liverpool being the team that we would face in the semi should we get past Napoli first. There's not much happening here, but now Napoli have the ball with Vinicius Tobias. Politano goes back to Prisco. Tobias looking for the long ball through to Højlund. Of course, ex-Man United. Højlund going back to Pellegrini. Into Højlund, who finds Fernandez. And Napoli get the lead. The Chelsea defenders appealing for an offside. It will go to a VAR check, but I have a feeling it will be awarded. It didn't look offside to me, and he wasn't. The goal has been awarded with the help of VAR. I'm not really sure why we even go to VAR. Thiago Fernandez gets his first Champions League goal of the season. And he puts Napoli 1-0 up. Palmer doing well there to win the ball back. Enzo Fernandez finding Giovanni Quenda, who goes back to Cucurella. Cucurella running at Tobias, finding Reece James, who finds Cole Palmer. Back to Reece James, who goes for goal. And it's just over from Reece James there. As Liverpool have a goal back in their game against Tottenham, which is good for them, of course. I'd probably rather face Tottenham if we were to get through, as I feel like Tottenham are maybe a little bit weaker than Liverpool. But you never know. Rarami finding Pellegrini, who plays the ball out wide to Tobias. That's going to run straight through to Garcia. We don't mind that at all, but I do think this is just one of those, and it is just one of those end of the half highlights. As we go in at the break, Napoli 1, Chelsea 0. As Højlund gets us underway for the second half. Not quite sure why the clapping's so extreme there. As we're going to give a shout of encouragement, as it looks like we've been okay so far. Of course, you know by now, if you've watched all my videos, my thoughts on playing away in the first leg. If you're going to lose, losing 1-0 is not necessarily the worst result away. As Prisco finding Marinucci at the edge of the box there. Medina finds Politano. And Politano makes it Napoli 2, Chelsea 0. Going to have to go attacking now. Going to have to try and wrestle this game back. It's a fantastic ball from Medina. And Politano at the back post. It's a lovely header from the Italian. This just looks like the exact same thing again. That's not just... Have I just watched that same thing again? Oh, fucking hell. I thought for a second then, I thought for a second they scored literally an identical goal then. Reece James coming down the right hand side now for Chelsea. Finding Nico Paz. Nico Paz. Can he go for goal? He can, and it's a fantastic goal from Nico Paz to get the goal back for Chelsea. Napoli 2, Chelsea 1. As Nico Paz has so much to do from this position out here. And he cuts inside and he's still going. And it's a lovely finish into the bottom corner to make it 2-1 and get a goal back for Chelsea. As Højlund now getting us underway for the restart. Medina finding Buongiorno. Sounds like hello in Italian. Buongiorno. As that is a Chelsea throw, which we do get to see as Reece James goes short to Nico Paz. Finding Reece James again. Reece James driving down this right hand side and finding Cole Palmer. Plays a lovely switch over to Quenda. Giovanni Quenda finding Vinicius Jr. And just like that, in the matter of minutes, Chelsea gets level with Napoli here. 2-0 down, back to 2-2. It's a really quick counter-attack from Chelsea. As Giovanni Quenda just puts it across the middle of the box. And Vinicius Jr. is not going to miss from there. 2 goals in the space of a couple of minutes. Gets us level. As Marinucci winning the ball back from Quenda there. Mendoza finding Pellegrini, who finds Rasmus Højlund, who is in here and goes for goal. It's a fantastic goal from Rasmus Højlund. And in the space of less than 5 minutes, 3 goals have been scored here in this game. As Rasmus Højlund gets a goal. Oh, he scored 7th for the Champions League, bloody hell. The corner for Chelsea now. Giovanni Quenda to take. Looking for Schlotterbeck at the back post. And it's just past the post. And it will be out for a Napoli goal kick. Milinkovic-Savic now. Going short to Medina. But it is out for a Chelsea throw. Will we get to see this throw? Because it is in Napoli territory. And we do. Reece James goes short to Paz. Who goes back to James. Reece James fouled, but the ref plays advantage. Moises Caicedo, and it's off the crossbar. And cleared. Enzo Fernandez, fucking terrified. No idea what the fuck Enzo Fernandez was doing there. Medina finding Marinucci. Faviccio. Good tackle by Fofana there. Can Chelsea now break? Fofana. Going to have to release the ball, and does. Finding Cole Palmer. Goes back to Caicedo. Fofana. Going back to Schlotterbeck. Into Cucurella. Trying to cut inside. Fofana. Finds Caicedo. Tries to play the ball through to Palmer. And I can't believe that we sat there as Milinkovic-Savic. What the fuck was that? I can't believe we've been watching this highlight. What the fuck is going on? Why on earth did Cucurella just throw the ball out like that? And so aggressively as well. Anyway. That's my little encouragement to the boys who have come on there. As we're into the final 5 minutes of normal time here. And it looks like we are going to come undone and lose this opening leg unless we can find something in the final couple of minutes. But it doesn't look like we are. And we're not. It ends Napoli 3, Chelsea 2 here in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final. Now we do have a home game against Newcastle to play in between this and the second leg. So I'll be back with the lineups and the result of that game. I'll see you there. Okay then. So we have played the game in between these two. I still can't go over how many games we have in April though, by the way. And we picked up a lovely 3-0 win at home to Newcastle. Nico Paz getting a brace and João Pedro getting himself a goal as well. We are 5 points clear should we win our game in hand with 5 games to go. It's looking good for the title. It is looking good for the title. Unfortunately, Vinicius Jr. did pick up an injury against Newcastle, so he will miss this game, which is a little bit disappointing. So our lineup to play Napoli is as follows. We are forced to make one small change. So we go with Garcia in goal, a back four of Reece James, Fofana, Schlotterbeck and Cucurella, a midfield two of Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, and the front three, or the midfield, the attacking midfield three of Palmer, Paz and Giovanni Quenda. Nico Paz up to 50 goal involvements this year now, and João Pedro leads the line for Chelsea. Without further ado, let's try and get ourselves into the semi-final of the Champions League. Okay then, the lineup Napoli are going for today is as follows. They've gone with Milinkovic-Savic in goal, a back four of Di Lorenzo, Mendoza, Buongiorno and Miguel Gutierrez, with a midfield three of Mikel Merino, Pellegrini and Scott McTominay. David Neres starts on the right, with Thiago Fernandez on the left, and Rasmus Højlund leading the line for Napoli here today. We want revenge. It is 3-2 on aggregate, as this is the halfway point. We now have 90 minutes to go, as Rasmus Højlund gets us underway for this game. Hopefully, we can get ourselves into the Champions League semi-final. As Giovanni Quenda trying to find Fofana at the back post. It's cleared. And Pellegrini now finds Rasmus Højlund, who is through on goal here. We've put every player forward. And Garcia is forced to make a fantastic save to stop Napoli from getting an early goal here. Cucurella now for Chelsea. Finds Nico Paz. Back to Schlotterbeck. Into Wesley Fofana, who finds João Pedro. Palmer now finding Reece James, who goes back to Palmer, and it falls to João Pedro. And João Pedro gets his first goal of the Champions League campaign and puts us level on aggregate. 3 goals apiece now in this tie. It just seemed like we had runs coming from everywhere. And Gutierrez does well to win the tackle, but it falls straight to João Pedro, who taps home to make it Chelsea 1, Napoli 0, and it is Chelsea 3, Napoli 3 on aggregate so far tonight. Nico Paz surrounded by Napoli players, but still with the ball. Goes back to Reece James. Gutierrez does well to intercept there though. And it's cleared, but only as far as Cucurella. Cucurella bombing down this left-hand side now for Chelsea. Pulls it across, and Giovanni Quenda is there. And just like that, Napoli's lead of 3-2 on aggregate is gone. And Chelsea now lead 4-3 on aggregate. Chelsea 2, Napoli 0. Here on the night, Chelsea 4, Napoli 3 on aggregate, as Giovanni Quenda taps home to make it 2-0. And that is exactly the start that we wanted. As João Pedro now chasing after the loose ball. Neres goes back to Di Lorenzo. Pellegrini back into Neres, back into Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo finding Neres once again. Neres cutting in and going for goal. It's a really good save from Garcia. Garcia being fantastic this season, as that is only Napoli's second shot of the game, and both have been really good chances that Garcia has had to make good stops for. As we come to the end of the first half here. Marino out to Gutierrez. Reece James does well to tackle there though. Neres into Højlund. Neres now through on goal. And it comes back off the post. And Neres still with the ball here. Trying to find Marino, but Garcia does well to jump and claim that. As we end the first half here at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 2, Napoli 0. 1-1 in the game across the country in Liverpool. As I believe they drew 2-2 in the first leg. So I believe it is 3-3 on aggregate now. So both quarter-final ties here, close and only separated by a goal, if that. As I do not mind time just trickling away here. Neres finding Pellegrini, who finds Di Lorenzo, who puts a good ball in, but it's cleared, but only as far as Scott McTominay. Finds Pellegrini. McTominay finding Di Lorenzo, finds Højlund. And Rasmus Højlund taps home to make it 2-1 and equalise on aggregate. VAR will check. And it has been disallowed. Fantastic. He must have just made that run a little bit too early. Nico Paz now with the free kick for Chelsea. He goes for goal and it's just over. As we approach, fucking hell, it's 2-2 in that other game. Bloody hell. That, of course, will decide our semi-finalist opponent. Should we see off Napoli here? Milinkovic-Savic throws out to Di Lorenzo. Lukaku, ex-Chelsea man, of course, on numerous occasions. Linking up play really well. And Lukaku is in here. And it's another good save from Garcia in the goal for Chelsea. Ten minutes to go here. Sort of just been watching the chart time trickle away, not really actually focusing. Alan Kennedy can come on in the attacking midfield role. We'll bring Pedro Neto on as well. Enzo Fernandez. Reece James for Gusto. And we'll bring Esteban on as well. Esteban been fantastic off the bench this season. As we're just going to praise the boys for the final 5 or so minutes here. I would love to win the Champions League. That would tick off a massive trophy in the Glory Hunter Challenge. And we are a step closer as it ends Chelsea 2, Napoli 0 here in the second leg. And we are through to the semi-final, which is fantastic. And we will be playing Liverpool, who beat Tottenham 5-4 on aggregate. So Liverpool will be our semi-final opponents. And that will probably be the next episode it will either be that or another Premier League game, because of course we are closing in on the title. So if you don't want to miss that video tomorrow at 9, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you are always notified when I upload a video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for more Football Manager content. I'll see you there, and peace.